Black homeowners, they get their property appraised. It comes in very low. They then whitewashed the home. What does that mean? They made it look as if white people owned it. It shoots up by $300,000. I kid you not. Let's put up the picture of Dr. Nathan Connolly and his wife, Dr. Shani Mott. Last summer, they welcomed an appraiser into their Baltimore home, hoping to take advantage of the historically low interest rates and refinance their mortgage. They had been approved for a loan and told their home was likely worth $550,000 or more. The family lives in the majority white neighborhood in North Baltimore of Homeland. So they believe their house, improved with a new $5,000 tankless water heater, $35,000 worth of renovations, was worth much more than the $450,000 they paid for it in 2017. But 2020 valuations, a Maryland appraisal company, put the home's value at $472,000. And in turn, Loan Depot, it's a major company, mortgage lender, denied the couple a refinance loan. Well, they denied the loan because when the appraisal comes back so low, you can't justify the loan based on the appraised value. The appraised value is what typically the bank would take as law. So this is a big deal, right? So the appraisal was just $22,000 more than they initially paid. And they knew the market had changed and they knew the value should be much higher. So they decided to do something. Let's put up their family. Now, this is the family of Dr. Connolly. Said he knew why he, his wife, and 3 children, aged 15, 12, and 9, are Black. Now, there's some background here worth noting. As a Johns Hopkins University professor of history, Dr. Connolly is an expert on redlining and the legacy of white supremacy in American cities. And much of his research focuses on race and the housing market. In other words, they picked the right one. This week, the Mott Connolly family sued Loan Depot, as well as 2020 valuations, and Shane Lonham, the owner of the 2020 valuations group. Loan Depot hired this organization as a subcontractor. Mr. Lanham conducted the inspection himself on June 14, 2021. According to the complaint, Dr. Connolly and Dr. Mott and their 3 children were home during the visit. And their house was also filled with family photos, children's drawings of figures with dark skin, a poster for the film Black Panther, and literature by Black authors. Months after the first appraisal, the couple applied for another refinance loan with a different loan lender, Rocket Mortgage. Removed family photos and had a white male colleague, another Johns Hopkins professor, stand in for them. The second appraiser valued the house at $750,000. $750,000. Okay, there's more to this story. This time they underwent what's called a whitewashing experiment. We have covered these before on Indisputable, removing indications of Blackness from their home and replacing them with signifiers that a white family might live there instead. They cleared their bookshelves of works by Black authors. They asked white friends to share family photos and place those in picture frames around the house, on their walls. They hung art, bought at IKEA that showed white people. You don't get whiter than IKEA artwork inside of your home. So when the appraiser came, he saw all of this evidence, especially IKEA, that sealed the deal. What happened? In the suit, the couple criticized how this appraiser did his job. In Mr. Lanham's appraisal, he selected 3 homes. This is his formula now. He selected 3 homes with values ranging from $435,000 to $545,000. A fourth comparable, which sold for $650,000, was ultimately not used in his valuation. The first home he used, the complaint argues, he considered a fixer-upper, which the home of Dr. Connolly and Dr. Mott is not. The second he used is outside of the boundaries of the homeland neighborhood, amid a majority Black census block of homes. So let me try to break this down some more. Basically, what the appraiser did is he took one of the lowest valued homes that was a fixer-upper and said, okay, we're gonna use this as a marker. And then he utilized another home in a Black community adjacent outside of the community of Homeland. And he said, okay, this is a Black community, we're gonna use that one as a marker. And he comes up with the appraisal based on these models or measures, which are contrary to actual policy and protocol. In the third, he deducted $50,000 from the comparison amount because Dr. Connolly and Dr. Mott's home faces a busy street. A deduction, the complaint says, that is excessive and inconsistent with proper appraisal practices. Another $20,000 was deducted for quality of construction. All of the selected comparable homes, the complaint says, were of lower quality than Dr. Connolly and Dr. Mott's home. And the appraisal incorrectly stated that their home had not received any updates for 15 years, a lie on the document they found. According to the complaint, Mr. Lanham cherry-picked low-value homes as comps. And by doing so, he ignored legitimately comparable homes with much higher sales prices. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, more than 97% of home appraisals are white. As a result of the Black homeowners have encountered similar discriminatory appraisals. So this family decided to do more than what the average family typically would do. And what was the result? An extra $300,000 and likely more, because I'm sure at some point there's a settlement or punitive damages awarded to this family. This is inconvenient, obviously. And it's discrimination, housing discrimination. That's a federal issue. Attorney, we've covered multiple stories like this. The fact that we have some means there are more that we do not know about. And a lot of families just accepted the appraisal without any rebuttal because they thought the appraiser was probably unbiased. What are your thoughts here?
It really speaks to all the efforts that we have to undertake in order to try to dodge the racism that is so inherently laden in our society, especially when you have situations like this, where, as you mentioned, the vast majority of appraisers are white, and how they come to your door and they determine that your home is valued less simply because you have a higher melanin count than everyone else. And then the lies that are told to try to cover that up and conceal it. It really does show you how society is structured in such that Black people continue to lose day in and day out the hundreds of thousands of dollars we lose when it comes to housing, when it comes to employment, in every aspect of society. And it's just rage inducing. That's exactly what it is.
And it shows you how racism permeates in every industry, every culture. That's why critical race theory is so important to understand, because critical race theory says you can actually eliminate racist people. Racist people can be taken out of the equation, but the systems that are utilized, the systems that are in place will still create a biased outcome.